You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil. I'm here with Jeff and Ken. How are you both today?
I'm great. And I'm just finding out now that our podcast is very upsetting to cats.
Yes, I think it is. Lots of cats seem to be wailing at the sound of our voices.
One of our guests has a cat and seems a little upset.
You may or may not hear
that's a cat.
A little bit in the background.
That's a cat's personality, right?
Yeah.
Just upset by nature.
Right, just like Matt's upset by nature, which is why he isn't here today. He was turned into a frozen snowman, so a hot frosty, and so he needs someone with a scarf to put around his neck in order to become human again.
I can't
Become a real boy?
Yeah.
I can't watch that movie. I don't know why. Like, I think Ted is just so handsome, and in that movie, he just doesn't do it for me, and I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, I think he starved himself or something. He looks different, but as is Hollywood. So we have a great show with us today. Wonderful guests. We're so excited to introduce. We're going to start with our hosts. Always great to have them here, and it's been too long. Coming to us from Austin, Texas, Toni Rask. How are you, Toni?
Oh, I'm doing just fabulous. And yeah, I'm the one with the screaming cat. I think he made an appearance before.
Yes. Yep.
The door is... He doesn't like closed doors. What can I say?
It's not gonna come up on the podcast.
Great.
We'll be editing out all the cat noises, but it's there.
It's there for us. So tell us a little bit about yourself, or remind folks at home who you are.
Sure. So I think the last time I was on, I was an elementary English teacher in South Korea, and now I am an licensed attorney in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a couple years. And but I'm very excited to be back.
The kids drove you to law.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I'm glad you're doing well though. And we have another counsel on our list of counsel.
We do have to call her Esquire.
I think we do. So Toni Rask Esquire.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you don't have to. You
No,
can.
we have to. It's decided.
Okay.
Yes, so we'll do that. All right, now next we're going to introduce one of our players today. So excited to have him back. We've known him for so many years, and just a great guy. Drew Buxbaum, coming to us from New Jersey, Oaken 5 supporter on Patreon. How are you, Drew?
Pretty good. Happy to have me back. That's a mistake right there.
So happy, Drew.
His Royal Highness Drew, as we should have said before. But yeah, remind folks what you're doing, about your great podcast and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I'm Drew. I'm a property manager by day. By night, I'm Batman / a podcaster. The podcast is Nerd Off. If you like trivia and you like a lack of seriousness like you do with the Triviality guys, go check it out.
It's a great show. It's always nice to have you here.
Nerd Off.
Welcome to Nerd Off. Are we going to see you at SporkleCon 2025 in Chicago?
Potentially, yeah.
All right.
Haven't figured out the 2025 travel plans yet, but that's definitely on the list.
All right. Well,
speaking of SporkleCon,
we had the great pleasure of meeting our next guest, who's going to be partnering with Drew today. Coming to us from Northern Virginia, Ashley Gray. How are you, Ashley?
Ashley Gray the Great.
Ashley Gray the Great.
I love it.
Yes, it's Royal Highness Drew, Toni Rask Esquire, and Ashley Gray the Great.
I will be changing my driver's license to reflect that. Thank you. Hi, I am a software or application developer living in Northern Virginia, and I love this show. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. So wonderful to get to meet you and have you on the show today. Yeah, we just have a great group of people here, and as we said, it's Esquire, Royal Highness, and the Great. We need to get the rules. Before we do that, we have teams. It's going to be Jeff and Ken. What's your team name going to be based on something we spoke to Toni about?
Well, let's change it on the fly here.
Okay. All right. We're going to change it on the fly.
Since everybody's getting
Titles.
additions to their name, so like a doctor will have MD after their name. We'll be Triviality POS.
Okay.
I thought we were going to be Triviality MAD.
People of Substance. Is that what it stands for?
People of Substance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then Drew and Ashley, what is your team name going to be?
I think we settled on Shenanigans.
Because they were having some shenanigans before we got on the call. They were having some fun with the cameras and the mics and stuff. So
all right, Shenanigans versus Triviality POS. Let's throw it to the rules.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
All right. Tony, that was Darren's best South Korean accent, in Korean, for that matter. How was it?
I don't know. I don't speak Korean.
All right.
She was teaching English.
So he was just teaching English, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, take it away, Tony. I'm just going to keep score.
Yeah, okay. I don't have to keep score then? That's great.
Nope.
Because I'm not going to. Anyway, so we'll jump in with round 1, question 1. And this is hobbies is the category. If I'm not busy recording a trivia podcast, I'm often headed out on a Sunday morning to do what activity? I never leave my house without a good pair of walking shoes or hiking boots, my Sibley East, my bins, or some people call them knocks, and the most recent update of Merlin loaded on my phone.
All right, Ashley. So being in the Cub Scouts has paid off for me. Merlin is an app that distinguishes different bird calls and identifies birds in the area. So I'm assuming you're going out bird watching. If you're cool with that, we can lock it in.
Yep, I had no idea.
Man, he nailed it. Well, we did not pick up on that. We did not know what Merlin was, but we said geocaching.
It's a very, very good guess, but it is, in fact, birding or bird watching. So the Sibley East is a very, very good, highly recommend if you're basically east of the Rockies. That's your bird book to carry around and your bird guide. So,
And now do you practice bird law?
I don't. I don't. And the funny thing is, I've thought about it more and more, and there are so many cases with birds. I actually looked into like which one should I bring up. I didn't anyway. So anyway, that question, round 1, question 1, sets up the theme for the game. All of the questions are somehow, even tangentially, related to birds.
Excellent.
So,
Okay.
hopefully that Merlin app has been paying off, but a lot of them are just kind of the inspiration for the rest of the questions. So
Awesome.
Now, good news for those of you with ornithophobia. You don't have to see them. So this is an audio medium.
So yeah, I actually started bird watching to know my enemy. I have a very mild bird phobia, and so it's kind of like exposure therapy to go out and be around them. So,
And when you capture them, you rip out the cameras from their heads.
Enemies to hobby.
Enemies to hobby, yeah.
yeah, yep. So,
Enemies to birders.
That being said, we got round 1, question 2, which is more hobbies. Mary Poppins probably knows this one, but what device, popular at the beach or city parks or occasionally in war, gets its name from a bird of prey?
We have a pretty well-informed guess here.
Well, that's better than I think we're going to do. We've got a couple blank looks on our face. Ashley, do you have anything here?
So I initially thought something that was completely wrong, and I'm not going to repeat what it was.
We need a bird of prey / device. How about osprey? That's a bird, right?
That is a military plane,
Yeah.
too. So
Mary Poppins loved her military planes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought,
All right,
didn't she mention that in the clue?
Maybe there's a type of parasol known as an osprey. God.
All right, so 1 osprey. We're just going to say parasol. That's what we locked in with. But as you guys were discussing, we think maybe it's a kite. But parasol is our actual answer.
Yep, it is a kite, unfortunately. So let's go fly a kite, very famously, Mary Poppins. And kite is a type of bird, very known for like its gliding and floating kind of the way a kite does.
I learned a new bird today.
So round 1, question 3 is movies. From Moose Lake, Minnesota to South America, Rio tells the story of Blue, a rare Spix macaw. It's actually a bird that's extinct in the wild. Who voices Blue? And I got a hint. Rio was released just a year after this actor's turn in a biopic about a founder of a company with a famous blue logo.
All right, we're locked in here. I wouldn't hire him as voice actor, but let's go with it.
All right. Well, we had a very brief discussion because we both came to the same conclusion. Ashley, you typed it there first, so why don't you go ahead and tell them what we said?
Yeah, as soon as you said movie with famous blue logo, I snapped. For some reason, I heard the voice, but I could not put a name to it until like the extra clue there. So yeah, we're gonna go with Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what we said too.
Yep, the answer is Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, I don't know that I would want him as a voice actor either, but that's who played Blue. So, round 1, question 4 is science. Common nighthawk, it's a type of bird, and the European nightjar, also a type of bird, despite their names, are active more in the dusk or twilight hours. What is the zoological term for animals that are active during those hours?
Looks like we're locked in.
Well, crud, I used to know this. No, I'm saying our answer is Lucky Johnson. That's the term.
Sorry. Excuse me for trying to take this podcast seriously. Yeah, go ahead. Let's go with Lucky Johnson. Fine.
So you guys felt like you were getting close, and then it started with a C, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff was in your convo.
Yep. And then we got nowhere.
And in fact, I think you were on it. I think it's crepuscular.
It is, in fact, crepuscular, and you guys were so close. So close.
Well,
you said corpuscular at one point, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Whoops.
So, whoops. That's all right. You might want a pen and paper for this next one. Round 1, question 5 is anagrams. So, and I can put it in the chat too. It's Apothecary Rex is not the name of my favorite dinosaur-themed drugstore, but it is, however, fittingly, an anagram of what was once considered the oldest genus of birds.
So we know nothing about bird genuses, or at least I don't. I don't think Ashley does either from her reaction in our little chat. So I'm just basing things on the fact that I found the word raptor in here. And we're going to go with a hexcaraptor.
Yeah, we were onto the same idea that birds are dinosaurs.
But we didn't break the word down as well.
Well, we tried. And then we remember that we suck at anagrams, and we said Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's fair. It is Archaeopter. I can't even say it, which is what it was. Archaeopteryx. Yeah, Archaeopteryx.
That's dumb, Ken. We could have
course.
gotten there.
You could have gotten there.
After 5 questions, it looks like we have a Barbara Walters score, 2020, and we'll continue.
All right, sounds
What was
great.
the other guy's name on 2020? The like super old man.
Oh,
Hugh Downing. Sorry.
Hugh Downing. There you go.
That's it.
She actually doesn't know birds, but she knows
amazing.
2020 hosts.
That's incredible. All right, round 1, question 6. Quite a guy. What is the name of Albus Dumbledore's Phoenix in the Harry Potter series?
All right. So we examined this question, found the clue, and we're locked in.
Yeah. So the clue is what got me there too. I was like, I know it's in here somewhere. And then the reread of the clue, the quite a guy, leads me to
Guy Pearce.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going. How did you guess? No, Guy Fawkes. We went with Fawkes.
And we said Montag. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, Ken and I did a good job to remember, and we came up with Fox.
That's right. His Phoenix name was Fox. So I'm glad I put the clue in. Let's put it that way.
We are too.
Yeah, Ken's not the biggest Harry Potter fan, Zero
Yeah.
fox given.
Zero fucks given. Yeah. All right. Round one, question 7. Category is history/culture. Choctaw and Chickasaw Native Americans were known to use hollowed out what to attract purple martins to their settlements? They're great pest controllers. After all, it's decorative this season, motherflockers.
Do we want to go with pine cones or a gourd of some sort?
No, it's probably some sort of, yeah, I mean, we should go with like maybe squash, like a squash.
Let's go with squash.
Okay.
Yeah, we also went with a type of squash. We went with a pumpkin.
So I am very tempted to give it to both of y'all. It is gourds, just generally. So pumpkins are a type of gourd. They would use pumpkins. They're a little heavy, but you can hollow them out and dry them out, and they become excellent birdhouses. And
Points for
they
all.
actually, yeah, points for all.
Yay!
Yeah, points for all. I'm gonna give it to both of you. Yeah, gourds. You can actually. They're very popular still. Like I go to the garden center, and you can buy like gourd birdhouses. All right, round 1, question 8. Legal eagle. So, Americans sure love birds, or at least the Audubon Society has some pretty good lobbyists. There were a number of strong protections for birds even before the Endangered Species Act of 1973, such as the BGEPA, which stands for the Bald and Gold Eagle Protection Act of 1940, and the MBTA of 1918. The MBTA made it illegal to pursue or hunt, take, capture, kill, or sell a huge variety of birds that were listed as migratory. The M and B, therefore, stand for migratory bird. The A is obviously act, so what does the T stand for? Considering birds don't respect borders, this law fulfills one side of the original pact.
Okay. We're going to lock in.
Yep, we're locked in.
Ooh.
Haha.
All right.
No
we
shenanigans
said
on this one.
Transitional? Is that what you said?
No, transnational.
Transnational?
Like, I guess you'd say like international. You wouldn't say that.
You could say transnational. That makes sense.
Transitory?
Transitory. Migratory Birds Transitory Act? No.
Migratory
Maybe
birds.
transatlantic. Hello, bird.
Transcontinental?
Sure.
I don't know bird law.
Well, you should.
This is my life's biggest
What'd you guys
regret.
have?
Yeah, so we, I mean, this kind of just came to me. She said birds wouldn't respect it. I said treaty. Drew said cool. So we just locked it in. Treaty.
Yeah, so it is the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. So
Whoa.
very nicely done. So, and that was, 1918. So since then, that was between the United States and Canada. But the U.S. has also signed similar conventions with Mexico, the Soviet Union / Russia, and Japan. And so they're all incorporated into the Migratory Bird Treaty Act.
So the treaty was with Canada, not between the humans and the birds.
Yeah, was in fact between the humans of the United States and the humans of Canada.
I do wish the Canadian geese would stay put.
Round 1, question 9, diets. The bearded vulture is unique among vertebrates for its diet. 70 to 90% of its diet consists of what body part specifically? I personally wouldn't eat these, but we do generally use them to make a stock.
Other than let's play guess a body part, do you have any insight here?
No, I thinking about things we would use to make a stock. The things I'm thinking of are very difficult to get to without eating other body parts first. If we consider skin a body part, then
We do.
Yeah, I think it's a
Okay.
body part. So, lacking
that'll
anything better, let's just go skin.
yeah.
It is the tastiest organ.
Yes. Well, we thought about things that we don't eat, but we might use to make a stock. And not too many animals, I think, eat this, but we said the bones.
It is the bones. They actually have this really cool habit of, is it cool? I don't know, of flying up really, really high with bones and dropping them so that they crack open. They have like a nickname in other languages that basically the name of the bearded vulture translates to bone breaker.
Ooh.
So yeah, they crack
was
them
Neil's
open to eat the
nickname.
marrow,
That's
but they
cool.
will eat the whole bone too. They also really like turtles. So talking about turtles again, they'll pick up turtles,
Drop 'em,
and tortoises, and drop them. Yeah, to
I've
crack
seen
them
that.
open.
That's crazy.
Not Michelangelo.
Yeah. So, all right. Round 1, question 10 in sports ball. Screech is a mascot that was hatched by a fledgling professional U.S. sports team in 2005. Residing in the same city as Screech, there's another professional sports team with a mascot named Slapshot, who is the same type of bird as Screech. Claude, the mascot of a Division I university in the city, is also one of these birds. For 5 points each, what city do these teams play in, and what kind of bird is Screech, Slapshot, and Claude?
All right, we're not too sure on this one. We came around to Philadelphia, and we'll say that it's an eagle, but we're not confident in that at all. We don't think that's right. Educate us.
We know that, luckily from living down there at the time, that DC is the city that we are looking for. I know Screech and Slapshot pretty well. They're eagles. Claude, I don't know the university, but hey, we got the city and the bird, so.
Yeah, so it is Washington, D.C. That's right. It's the Nationals and the Capitals and the Division I university. I have a note here that says Claude is the mascot for American University Eagles, who are, at least
right.
the last time they asked me for money, still a Division I school. This is my alma mater. So, and they are specifically bald eagles, but I'll give you eagles. So,
Of course, yeah.
all right. Yeah, if you didn't like that question, you are going to hate the swing round. So,
Before we get to the swing round, just a little score update. It's only 5 points separating each team. So we have Triviality POS at 55. Shenanigans pulling out some extra shenanigans there at 60. So very close. And before we throw it to Tony for the swing round, which I'm sure everyone will love, despite what Tony said, we'd love to have everyone join us over at Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, you can get a ton of extra audio content for as little as $5 a month. And for as little as $1 a month, you can get rid of all of these ads and all the ads you hear during the show. So if you find us annoying, if you find all the brands annoying, all you have to do is pay as little as $1 and you can get rid of all of it, but still have the dependable Triviality content. So go check out Triviality podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
Very good. What do you have for the swing round today?
all right. So the swing round is we're talking about the best part of any sporting event, which is the mascots. And there are a lot of bird mascots.
We
I'm
have
going
one
to
right
give
here
you-
in the
yeah.
studio with us.
That's true.
What? I'm going to give you 10 teams info, sport, location, team name, and then it's just a matching round, then 10 different bird mascots. So,
Okay. So we'll link the question number with the location, team, etc. So go ahead and give us that list first.
all right. So, number 1 is Toronto FC, the MLS soccer club in Toronto. Number 2 is Seattle Seahawks. Number 3, the University of Miami Hurricanes. Number 4, Anaheim Ducks. Number 5, Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, FC. Number 6 is Rice University. Number 7, Los Angeles Clippers, LA Clippers. Number 8 is Tokyo Verdy, the professional soccer team in Tokyo. Number 9 is the Philadelphia Eagles. And number 10 is Minnesota United FC, also an MLS team.
All right. And let's have the other half of the question.
All right. So we've got Chuck the Condor, Sebastian the Ibis, an Andean condor named the same name as the team. Sammy the Owl. Blitz and Boom, 2 traditional people in foam heads. And then they also have a real-life auger buzzard named Taima, and that's all the same team. Bitchy the Hawk. Swoop, a generic person in a bird costume. PK. Ozzy and Barney, the owls. Wild Wing.
All right, we have these matching options, and we'll be right back with our answers.
While Jeff may be the science guy on our show, I'm always looking for new ways to learn about the truly mind-bending ways science is shaping our world. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Curiosity Weekly, a podcast from Discovery. Each week, they unpack the latest science and tech news with expert guests who make even the most complex topics easy to understand and seriously fascinating. Ever wonder why you can't put your phone down? Neuroscientists are studying TikTok to figure out which chemicals in your brain make it so addictive. Or how about clean beauty? It wouldn't even exist without cosmetic chemistry. Did you know planes can fly using recycled plastic jet fuel? Yep, that's real. And AI? It's deciphering ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics and even helping build robots that might feel pain. Here's why I love Curiosity Weekly. They make science relatable, showing how it shapes our everyday lives. From the fermentation process behind your favorite beer to the neural networks powering your GPS, this show connects the dots between science, tech, and your world. So what are you curious about? Find out on Curiosity Weekly. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Shop now at the Home Depot and get up to 35% off select appliances. Plus, save up to an extra $400 on select appliances like Frigidaire. From the stainless steel French door refrigerator with crisp steel drawers to keep produce fresh longer, to the 5-burner electric range that lets you cook more at once and get meals on the table faster. Right now, get up to 35% off select appliances like Frigidaire. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid January 9th through January 29th. U.S. only. See store online for details and minimum purchase required.
So we have considered all these. We are back. And a lot of these were kind of process of elimination and using a little logic here. But let's see how we did. If you want to go ahead and read the location and the team one more time, and then we will tell you which mascot we matched.
All right. Number 1, Toronto FC.
We said that was Ozzy and Barney.
Okay, we said that was PK for penalty kick.
Toronto FC is Bitchy the Hawk.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a real-life hawk that keeps seagulls away from the stadium.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
Ken and I had the right idea that it wasn't a U.S. team.
Yes.
We just guessed the wrong.
You'll find out later.
Team. Yeah.
Number 2, the Seattle Seahawks.
We think that's Sebastian.
We said that was Bitchy the Hawk.
All right. No, it is in fact Blitz and Boom, which are 2 traditional people, foam and heads, time-traveling birds of prey, and then a real-life hawk, type of hawk, an auger buzzard from Africa, actually. And then we've got number 3, University of Miami Hurricanes.
We said Sammy the Owl.
We said, thanks to Ashley, Sebastian.
Yeah, it is Sebastian the Ibis.
This is not good, Jeff. We're in trouble.
Number 4 is the Anaheim Ducks.
It's got to be Wild Wing.
We also said it had to be Wild Wing.
It is, in fact, Wild Wing.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. I have a little description of Wild Wing as an anthropomorphic goon of a bird in a mask. Number 5, Sheffield Wednesday FC.
This is the one that we said bitchy, so we're wrong.
This is where we went Ozzy and Barney.
It is, in fact, Ozzy and Barney.
Nice job.
Number 6, Rice University.
We think that's Chuck.
We said Sammy.
It is Sammy the Owl. They're the Rice University Owls. Yep. He's seen his fair share of pranks from their friends up in College Station over the years. So A&M stealing the costume and doing horrible things to it. Number 7, the LA Clippers.
We said Clipper the Andean Condor.
We said Swoop.
It's actually Chuck the Condor, who wears, of course, a pair of red Chucks.
Ah.
Yeah. Number 8 is Tokyo Verde.
We said that was BB&T.
BB&T.
We said that was Verdi, the Andean Condor.
It is Verde, the Andean Condor.
Wow.
We're in danger.
Yeah.
Number 9, Philadelphia Eagles.
We said Swoop.
We went with the Blitz Boom and Tima.
Yep, that would have been a good guess, but it is Swoop, the Eagle.
5 more points.
Yeah. And number 10, Minnesota United FC.
Oh, I think we have this one right too by process of elimination, right? But maybe not. Maybe I misjudged it. We said PK.
And we said that was Chuck the Condor.
Yeah, it is in fact PK, who is a loon. It does not shoot lasers out of its eyes, though.
After the swing round, Triviality POS picking up 15 points, bringing them to 70. And Shenanigans with the Great and His Royal Highness picking up 25, bringing their total to 85, so extending their lead.
Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant the beatdown from you guys.
Oh, I know it could have been worse. Had my logic on all of these been right, because I was like, I had logic behind every single one, but it just wasn't all good logic.
Yeah, those are a little tough. Lots of bird mascots out there, and a lot of them very weird. All right, we ready to head into round 2?
Yes.
All right. Round 2, question 1. This is a shout out to my book club here in Austin, No Shelf Control. Emily Haybeck.
Okay, that's great. I'm sorry. Got to take a moment to appreciate that.
Sorry. Yeah, shout out to my book club, No Shelf Control. So it's a literature question. Emily Haybeck's 2023 debut novel features a young woman named Wren and her journey through grief and transformation as she works through those feelings as her husband mutates into what ocean-dwelling killer? And I have a hint. Yeah, it's magical realism. I have a hint for y'all too, if you want it.
Yeah, please.
Okay. The novel is named Blank Heart, A Love Story. I don't know if you've heard it.
Are we?
Or seen it on a
we're
shelf.
not on the birds anymore, right? We're clear of the birds.
No.
Oh.
This is
it's all birds.
Emily Haybeck's 2023 debut novel features a young woman named Wren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we just have to fill in the blank there. I think this would be funny as the title of the book. So let's go with this. It's a good name for a band too. All right, we're locked in.
I thought shark. You think orca? Want to flip a coin?
Sure, you got a coin?
Nope.
Well, luckily, the internet has us covered on these sort of things. It's flipping. It's heads. We'll say shark.
Yeah, we think shark heart is much funnier than orca heart, so we're saying shark heart.
Yeah, the book is called Shark Heart. He mutates into a great white shark.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually a really good book. We read it a couple months ago for book club, so I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. Round 2, question 2 is geography. From its low of only 21 specimens in the wild in 1941, the whooping crane, or whooping crane, as one of my professors would say, the whooping crane population has been helped tremendously by conservation efforts. There are now approximately 800 of the giants in the wild. However, the only self-sustaining natural migratory population of the whooping crane is in the Aransas wood buffalo population that migrates between Wood Buffalo National Park in Canada and Aransas National Wildlife Refuge on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico in which U.S. state?
All right, so the other team is locked in. Jeff, this is kind of a geography
Kind
dealie,
of.
so do you have an idea?
I think we can take a guess here. We're going to say Louisiana.
Okay, we get to talk now. Great. Yeah, Port Aransas. This is in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Port Aransas absolutely is in Texas. So they migrate from Texas to northern Canada every year. So
should have used a little
it's
game
pretty
theory,
cool.
maybe.
Yeah, Ashley was just waiting. I just like a hawk, really, like a bird. I mean, she was.
Yeah,
I saw her waiting
swooped
to
in.
answer, just waiting. Yeah, just waiting.
Yeah. All right, round 2, question 3. A little bit of military history. But military history. The F-16 fighter plane is a single-engine supersonic jet nicknamed the Fighting Blank. What bird fills in the blank?
We're locked in.
Yeah, it looks like you got a little history with the military back here. You got some hats on your wall, signifying.
See, I would say I see a couple commendations as
some
well.
medals. Yeah,
That's great. Yeah, thank you for your service, and for being our special secret agent if we ever need to take someone out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know specifically. Is this the osprey?
No, is this the Screaming Eagle?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Not the Screeching Weasel.
No,
Okay,
that's your band name.
Drew got that reference. That was good.
Oh, okay, it's our turn. Yeah, F-16 Falcon.
Yep, in fact, they are the Fighting Falcons. That's right.
Forgot
So
about alliteration.
the shenanigans, yes, alliteration in the military and in life is great.
If this was NBA Jam, Ashley would be on fire.
That's right. She's heating up.
Yeah. Round 2, question 4. Oh no, not the Rona. It's a science question. With only one letter difference from a word still no one likes to hear at gatherings in 2024, what family of birds includes the smartest birds, like ravens, jays, and crows?
Oh man! All right, they're locked in. I could have used a little more time to think there. Way to lock in, guys.
So I thought I heard someone say COVID. Did someone say that?
The category was, oh no, not the Rona.
Oh, it was in my head. Okay. Because I was like, this could be Corvid. But I was like, it can't be because someone already said the word COVID.
But it could be because no one said the word COVID. So,
But no one said it. I'm imagining it.
then roll with it. Roll with it.
Okay. Let's go with it.
That
Sorry.
sounds like a good guess. We put Ovid, but now I'm realizing that that's probably a Roman poet.
Great.
Maybe
helps
a Roman
not at all.
poet. It is Corvid, in fact. So
I
you just
knew
add
it.
an
On
R to
fire.
COVID.
She's
she
on
is
fire.
on fire. Yep, just add an R to COVID, and you get Corvid. All right, round 2, question 5, presidential pets. Although Paul or Polly, the parrot, never lived in the White House, she became a longtime companion to which U.S. president? Paul even attended the former president's funeral at his home in Tennessee, where she had to be removed for squawking profanities loudly and frequently.
All right, we think we have a line on this one, so we're locked in.
I think we were a second away from locking in. Ashley and I had the same line of thought here, and we both went with Andrew Jackson, so that's what we're going to lock in with.
Yep, Andrew Jackson.
It is Andrew Jackson. You're on fire.
After 5 and Ashley being on fire, full of flames right now, the Shenanigans extend their lead with a perfect first half of the round, picking up 50 points, bringing their total to 135. Triviality POS got the first and last question right of the first 5, so they're going to be at 90. So still within reach, but looks like Shenanigans are taking over the game.
We need a change here, Jeff.
All right. Round 2, question 6. More literature. Perhaps more famous for his tales of other terrific and or little animals, or a book on style. The Trumpet of the Swan is a children's book about a mute trumpeter swan named Louis, written by who?
I think we can lock.
Okay. So they're locked in. What are we thinking? Terrific animals? Maybe Charlotte's Web? E.B. White? Book on style. I don't know what that is.
E.B. White, was that a man?
I don't
It says
know.
his in the...
I thought so.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we'll say E.B. White.
Well, our line of thinking was, well, at least mine, was the book on style is Strunk and White, and I can't think of any other...
I was thinking Stuart Little.
Oh, well, I couldn't think of any other little animal books written by a strunk, so I went with White, and Ashley had the same line of thinking on White, so we went E.B. White.
Yeah, the answer is E.B. White. So terrific is one of the words that Charlotte weaves into her web, and in Charlotte's Web, and Stuart Little, and and there's a great book, The Trumpet of the Swan by E.B. White. Round 2, question 7, current, not so current, and long ago events. Martha, the Endling passenger pigeon, Incas, the Endling Carolina parakeet, Harambe, the slain gorilla, and Fiona, the preemie hippopotamus, and her half-brother Fritz were or currently are residents of what U.S. city's zoo?
We're locked in.
Oh, these guys are locked in right away. Do you remember what zoo the Harambe incident was associated with? And we are...
I'm thinking it's the Cincinnati Zoo.
That sounds right. And I know that they have a pretty reputable zoo, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Despite the maybe infamous after the Harambe slaying. I like that you said he was slayed.
Slain.
Yeah, slain.
Well, I mean, there's not much to say here. We both knew it was Cincinnati, so Cincinnati's what we locked in with.
Yeah, this zoo is immortalized in that. Remember the metal song they made? Can I say the title of the song? Or am I going to get bleeped?
You're going to get bleeped.
I'm getting bleeped? Okay, never mind.
Okay, apparently I don't know what this is, so that's fine. I'll look it up after. It is Cincinnati. So both Martha and Incas were different types of birds. They're endlings, meaning the last of their species. So, and they both died at the Cincinnati Zoo in the 1910s. So, yeah. All right. Round 2, question 8. And now for something completely different, in which AI helped me write a question. I gave it a prompt, and it's a little ridiculous. So,
Okay.
In the realm of avian species, a certain vibrant green bird, originally hailing from the subtropical and temperate regions of South America, has managed to establish notable populations in urban areas across various continents, often causing mild concern among local ecosystems. Distinguished by its unique ability to construct intricate community-oriented nests that sometimes resemble small apartment complexes, this parrot species is notably characterized by a distinguishing, almost monastic look, suggestive of a humble cloaked figure, due to a subtle coloration around its throat. Known for its adaptability to both natural and man-made environments, which bird, often referred to by its alternative names such as Quaker parrot or Quaker, displays a mix of social behavior and vocal agility in such diverse regions such as North America and Europe.
All right.
Horrible
I think
question.
we're locked in, right?
I guess.
Anyway, humble cloaked figure. I'm thinking about a monk.
All right. You want to say the monk parrot?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, monk parrot. Lock it in.
Sounds like a good answer. We just said the Quetzal.
Yeah, so it is the monk parakeet or monk parrot. So
Give it to him.
yep,
Absolutely.
I'm definitely giving it to him. Yep. It's
Wow.
Yeah.
Well
So
done.
that is it. Yeah. All right, round 2, question 9, film. Perhaps getting closer and closer to reality, the 2013 film The Congress stars which avian-named actor as a fictionalized version of herself who agrees to have her likeness digitized for use in future films?
All right, we're locked in.
Okay. So it's up to us to think about this. I'm thinking about birds that can also be first or last names. So it's probably not something like pigeon or parrot. Maybe
Right.
something like hawk.
Yeah.
Like Mia Hawke is an actress, but I think she'd be too young for.
Oh, My Hawk?
Yeah. 2013. That's too.
Should have been a
should
little
be
kid.
too young.
Yeah.
Dove, finch. No, we're not coming up with anything. We're gonna have to tap on this one.
All right. Well, Ashley started listing off bird names, and her list started at Robin and Wren, and then I was like, Robin Wright. Let's roll with it.
Great.
Yeah,
And that's what we
rolling
got
right
going.
with it. Yeah, so you're rolling right with it. That's it's Robin Wright.
Well done.
The combination of Robin and Wren being there together is what got me to piece that one.
Well done.
Yeah. All right. Last question in round 2. It's rhyme time. Although many variations exist of this traditional nursery rhyme, here's one. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. What are we counting and not hoping for just one?
All right. The other team is locked in. The only bird I can think about counting would be chickens. I don't often find myself counting birds, though.
You wouldn't want to count them before they hatch.
Correct.
That makes sense. I was thinking about 4 and 20 blackbirds, but
should have thought about me
baking
with
them
this
into a pie.
question, but that's okay.
Should have thought about you.
Should have thought about me.
Herky?
No.
Oh. Well, we said blackbirds.
No, we said chickens, right?
Either way,
You
they're both wrong. It's okay though. Just pick one.
Neil.
Well, we went with the Counting Crows.
It got the 4 and 20 blackbirds actually reminded me of the single crow up on the breeze, blah 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 blah, like that reminded me, and then I was just like, oh, then it's probably we got there almost the same way you guys did. So yeah, crows.
Oh, is this Mr. Magpie?
It's
I
magpies.
want Neil to give us the answer.
It's magpies.
Yeah, it is magpies. Crows is Close, Counting Crows actually had an album that's named kind of for this rhyme. So we're all just in a big circle of counting magpies right now.
And Neil, would you count up our points for us?
Well, Shenanigans almost had a perfect round there. They just missed that last question. Ashley did very well with 9 out of 10. So their score is going to be 175, and there's only a 65-point differential here.
Only.
This is trouble.
Triviality POS with 110 points to go into the final round. So we have 110 to 175.
Truly living up to our name today.
That's true. It's getting there. It's getting there. Before we get to the final round, just wanted to remind everyone to join us over at Patreon. We enjoy all of our patrons, get a chance to meet them on every episode, whether you're a patron or not. But all of our patrons get access to a ton of great content every month, including weekly bonuses hosted by us, which is fun. We get to write little mini games on different categories or just general knowledge trivia. You also have about 70 or 80 hours, we're trying to calculate it, we still haven't yet, of bonus audio content since 2017, all at your fingertips for as little as $5 a month. And if you don't want to hear these ads, as we said before, just $1.
$1 do.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. So just go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast to learn more today.
And some of us upgraded our memberships in the middle of this recording.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh, did you?
Thank you.
Yep.
Drew, look, I see the
like,
email
not me,
now.
but somebody.
I see the email. Thank you, Drew, for doing that. So, Drew, I guess since you upgraded, do you enjoy being a patron? Does it, I don't know, is it everything you dreamed of, hopefully?
It is. I mean, listen, you guys put out great content. There's a lot of good podcasts out there that I support, but I think it's very important that, if people are able to, they support these kind of projects because you guys bring a lot of joy to people, and we need you to be able to keep doing it.
Thanks so much,
Well, thank
Drew.
you.
We appreciate
It's very
that.
nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. And make sure everyone check out Nerd Off as well, because we know how hard Drew works on his show as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony, what are the final round categories that these teams can wager on?
All right, your categories are television, turkey time, video games, children's lit, and ornithologists.
All right, the wagers are now locked in. Looks like both teams are doing 20s all the way down. So this is definitely an uphill battle for us.
Channeling Andrew Jackson.
Are we?
The 20.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Question 1. Television. In a season 10 episode of The Simpsons, Bart kills a mother robin with a BB gun owned by Nelson. Shout out to my cat. Feeling guilty, he then hatches the eggs, which turn out not to be birds, but what that end up wreaking ecological disaster on Springfield. Question 2, turkey time. The National Turkey Federation is the sponsor of the annual tradition of the presidential turkey pardon. This year, 2024, the turkeys are being supplied by a farmer who hand-raised the pardoned turkeys with help of his 9-year-old son. In which state? This state has far and away the largest turkey production, with over 38.5 million head raised in 2023. The next closest was Arkansas with 27 million turkeys. 3, video games. In the first generation of Pokemon, the original 151 we're talking, there are a variety of bird Pokemon, 8 by my count. Name any 3, but beware, you can only name 1 per evolutionary line, i.e. if you said Bulbasaur, you couldn't then say Ivysaur. Number 4, in the popular youth series Animorphs, a group of teens gain the ability to morph into animals and use the power to fight an alien invasion. It doesn't take long for one of the teens, Tobias, to flout the rules of the morph to more or less permanently become what specific bird of prey? It's a trivia Pavlov for many that the call used for bald eagles and other raptors in film and television used the cry of this bird instead. And number 5, ornithologists. American ornithologist John Casson has 5 birds named after him: an auklet, a kingbird, a sparrow, a finch, and a vireo. Birds even led to his demise. He died in 1869 from arsenic poisoning from handling birds preserved in arsenic. The birds are not his only namesake, however. There is a brooding, infrequent summer visitor who was also named for him, although the memories might be fresh for our friends in Illinois. What animal is this?
All right, hard lock-in on the Animorphs question. Look out, other team. We'll be right back and find out if we can possibly be today's cream of the crop.
Want to learn how you can make smarter decisions with your money? Well, I've got the podcast for you. I'm Sean Piles, and I host NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. On our show, we help listeners like you make the most of your finances. I sit down with NerdWallet's team of nerds, personal finance experts in credit cards, banking, investing, and more. We answer your real-world money questions and break down the latest personal finance news. The nerds will give you the clarity you need by cutting through the clutter and misinformation in today's world of personal finance. We don't promote get-rich-quick schemes or hype unrealistic side hustles. Instead, we offer practical knowledge that you can apply in your everyday life. You'll learn about strategies to help you build your wealth, invest wisely, shop for financial products, and plan for major life events. And you'll walk away with the confidence you need to ensure that your money is always working as hard as you are. So turn to the nerds to answer your real-world money questions and get insights that can help you make the smartest financial decisions for your life. Listen to NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Everybody shush! William Shatner has something to say.
Cat and Jethro, box of oddities.
What do you do when the woman you love dies? Well, of course you dig her up and you live with her.
Aww.
The show examines weird things.
There are plenty of old photographs from this time period of children out in the streets playing in and among the dead horse carcasses.
Oh, I miss those days. Things used to be so much simpler.
Cat and Jethro.
Then there's the urine wheel, which sounds like a really bad game show.
They've done weird things. Cat and Jethro, box of oddities. That is really mysterious.
Join Cat and Jethro Gilligan Toth for the strange, the bizarre, the unexpected, as they lift the lid and cautiously peer inside the Box of Oddities.
The Webby Award-winning Box of Oddities podcast from Airwave Media.
Did archaeologists discover Noah's Ark?
Is the rapture coming as soon as the Euphrates River dries up?
Does the Bible condemn abortion?
Don't you wish you had a trustworthy academic resource to help make sense of all of this?
Well, I'm Dan Beecher, and he's award-winning Bible scholar and TikTok sensation Dr. Dan McClellan, and we want to invite you to the Data Over Dogma podcast,
where our mission is to increase public access to the academic study of the Bible and religion, and also to combat the spread of misinformation about the same.
But, you know, in a fun way.
Every week we tackle fascinating topics, we go back to source materials in their original languages,
and we interview top scholars in the field.
So whether you're a devout believer,
or you're just interested in a clear-eyed, deeply informed look at one of the most influential books of all time,
we think you're going to love the Data Over Dogma podcast,
wherever you subscribe to awesome shows.
And we are back. Once again, both teams wagering 20 points on each one of these. Let's see if we can get all these right. And if these guys didn't do so well, we may have hope, Jeff. But not much. So let's go ahead and get the questions one more time.
All right, number 1, television. In a season 10 episode of The Simpsons, Bart kills a mother robin with a BB gun. Feeling guilty, he hatches the eggs, which turn out not to be birds, but what? That end up wreaking ecological disaster on Springfield.
We think this is a solid guess, but it is a guess at the end of the day. We said snakes.
Yeah, I remember this episode, and I'm pretty sure that they were lizards. I don't think they were snakes, but this is 10-year-old me, so...
I think you're thinking of the Whacking Day episode with the snakes.
Oh.
I do love Whacking Day. It is lizards, specifically Bolivian tree lizards, but lizards is fine.
If you're Neil, every day is Whacking Day.
I wish. I don't have the time.
Oh my God.
They were named Bart Jr. and Chirpy Boy.
Okay. Well done,
Question 2. The National Turkey Federation is the sponsor of the presidential turkey pardon. Where or which state were this year's turkeys raised in?
We said Texas.
Well, we went with a different state. So I was writing questions last night, and I started with where are the most cranberries produced, and that's Wisconsin. And then if my source material is correct, the most turkeys last year came from Minnesota, so we went with Minnesota.
Oh.
It is, in fact, Minnesota.
Yeah, some inside information here.
Yep, I literally just wrote that last night.
Yeah, Minnesota produces a lot of turkeys. Texas, however, does have the most wild turkeys.
Good. That makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, question 3, video games. In the first generation of Pokemon, there are a variety of birds, about 8. Name any 3.
All right, we're going to play it safe here because I can't remember which. Some of these I was like, are they birds? Are they written up as dinosaurs? Either way. So we're going to say Spearow, Pidgey, and Farfetch'd.
All right. Well, we have two in common there. We went back and forth on. Ashley came up with three, and then I was like, we could just do the legendary birds and make it easy, but we didn't. So we went Pidgey, Spearow, and Doduo.
Those are both teams getting points there. Those are 3 of the 8: Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Spearow, Fearow, Farfetch'd, Doduo, Dodrio. So, very nicely done. You guys know your Pokemon.
Way too well.
Yeah. Number 4 is Children's Lit. In the popular youth series Animorphs, a group of teens gains the ability to morph into animals and use their power to fight alien invasion. One of the teens, Tobias, more or less permanently morphs into what specific bird of prey?
I believe the exact quote in the book was, "Toby, you up." But yeah, this one was a big part of my
That's
childhood.
how I knew I loved the Animorphs.
Yeah, this one, dude, they were violent. They were crazy. This one I was sure was red-tailed hawk.
Ashley, this one was all you, so why don't you take
Yeah,
it?
the only way we got there was, I think at the end, there was like a clue about the sound that people use for eagles. I had no clue about Animorphs. So, but the red-tailed hawk, that's the sound that we use to represent birds of prey in general. So that's how we got there.
Yep, it is indeed the red-tailed hawk. And the last question is about ornithologist John Casson. He's had 5 birds named after him. He died from arsenic poisoning from handling too many dead birds. There is also a brooding, infrequent summer visitor who is also named for him. Although the memories might be a little too fresh for our friends in Illinois. What kind of animal is this?
So, Ken, while I was hoping this was going to be a question about my favorite ornithologist, Charlie Parker,
Birdman.
Unfortunately, we got John Casson, but we think it's the cicada, since I've got many recordings of just the sound of them from months back.
Yeah, Ashley, this was you again.
Brooding, infrequent summer visitor. Yeah, we said cicada as well.
Yeah, it is indeed the cicada. Apparently, y'all's hatch in northern Illinois this last summer was the biggest on record. So, congratulations. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the biggest on record, what a great separation here by Shenanigans over Triviality POS. So, final scores are in. Triviality POS picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 130. But today's cream of the crop, the Shenanigans, perfect in the final round, picking up 100 points, which brings their total to 275. What a game.
The cream of the crop.
Nice. Good game, guys.
Well done, guys. Well done.
I think we're going to be the partners of sorrow now.
Aw.
Triviality
POS.
Partners of Sorrow.
Yes.
I thought we were the point of sale, although we've plied our trade, and I don't know what it's worth anymore.
Well, Tony, excellent game. We love those questions. We know a lot about birds now. Any final thoughts from you?
No, I would actually recommend to people to get out to your local Audubon Society. Most places have free bird walks to go and kind of learn about birds or how you can attract birds to your backyard to watch them. So I do recommend getting in touch with your local Audubon Society.
Yeah, never thought about birding myself, but there has been a family of blue jays just outside my apartment this summer, and it was delightful. I'll say that. And Drew, thank you for joining us as well. We loved your participation on today's show, and always. Any final thoughts from you?
Just rehashing the same old things. Check out Nerd Off and give these guys at Triviality more money.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate that. And finally, Ashley, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Any final words from you? And I think we wanted to say a little something about in tribute to your friend.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for inviting me on. As a listener, I definitely will be contributing to the Patreon after this. This was a great experience. I was supposed to be on the show this week with a friend of mine named Dee. And Dee passed away very suddenly a few weeks ago. I know Drew knows her from OQL, and she's pretty widely known in like the circles that do trivia in general, like SporkleCon and a lot of the other trivia shows.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of meeting her there.
Yeah, and yeah, you guys were there. We met, and she's the kind of person that it will create the best possible environment for people, and then just invite them along. I met her right before SporkleCon a couple months beforehand, and we got to be friends very quickly. And for someone that literally just met me, she invited me up to. She had like a private box area at SporkleCon and invited like a bunch of strangers and some of her friends that she knew before. But it was just the most generous thing, and we were fast friends, just kind of following each other around and getting to know each other. It's going to be a very different atmosphere without her at the next SporkleCon. And I think a lot of people really, really miss her. And I wish her and her family the best. I wish she was still here with us today, but those are circumstances we have. Yeah.
Yeah, as do we. It was a pleasure meeting her at SporkleCon, and we're sorry we couldn't get to know her better. But it sounds like her attitude and her legacy will be remembered in our community. So if we could have more kindness in our community, that's what everybody's looking for, I believe. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. Once again, I want to thank all of our guests today. We want to thank Airwave Media. You can find them at airwavemedia.com. Find other great podcasts such as Emotional Badass, The Explorers Podcast, and IGN Movies. So make sure to check some of those out at airwavemedia.com. And that'll do it for today's episode. Again, for all of our guests, Jeff, Neil, Matt, and myself, that was Triviality.
What does Sputnik have to do with student loans? How did a set of trembling hands end the Soviet Union? How did inflation kill moon bases? And how did a former president decide to run for a second non-consecutive term? These are among the topics we deal with on the My History Can Beat Up Your Politics podcast. We tell stories of history that relate to today's news events. Give a listen. My History Can Beat Up Your Politics, wherever you get podcasts.
Spend less time staying in the know about all things gaming and more time actually watching and playing what you want with the IGN Daily Update podcast. All you need is a few minutes to hear the latest from IGN on the world of video games, movies, and television with news, previews, and reviews. So listen and subscribe to the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts. That's the IGN Daily Update, wherever you get your podcasts.